Western countries, they love to talk bad things about non-Western countries to feel better about themselves. So they say, oh yeah, it's a dystopia, everyone is depressed, everyone is like studying all the time, they don't have a life, they're not happy.
I think in terms of content, it's also like negative things get more views. Like, I know that because
My name is China. I am not from China, I'm from France, and I'm studying at Korea University.
hi, my name is Jasmine. I am studying at an Ohakdang in Korea, in Seoul, and I'm Australian.
So Jasmine and Outcast had a really long relationship between us. It's like she was the first one to appear on this channel. She wasn't the first video. How have you been doing since then?
I've been doing good. Actually, at that time, I was in Korea just on a random holiday for 2 weeks. And yeah, he just randomly came up to me. And then because of that video, I met my boyfriend. And then now I'm actually living in Korea. So a lot has changed since that time. It was
Better.
honestly fate that we had that interview, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it was God who
It
saved
changed
my
my life.
Yeah.
It was so good.
So I've seen on YouTube, there are a lot of videos that are coming out. There's like, the title is like Korea is dystopia.
Oh my god, yeah.
coming
Like
up.
the dark side of Korea and all that.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
So why are there so many of those types of videos? Like,
I actually did my dissertation about this in university when I was in the UK.
yeah.
Basically, like Western countries, they love to talk bad things about non-Western countries to feel better about themselves. And you know, because there's also problems in like most Western countries in like education, they look down on Asian countries to make themselves feel better, basically. So they say, oh yeah, it's a dystopia, everyone is depressed, everyone is like studying all the time, they don't have a life, they're not happy. So that, you know, in the West, when we look at that, we're like, oh, we're not that bad, it's fine, we shouldn't complain. But every country has problems, so I don't see why there are so many Western countries talking about the dark side of Korea, when Koreans don't talk about the dark side of France, like they don't care, they're busy, like, you know what I mean, they're building their lives.
Yeah, I think it's fine to like criticize other countries, but I think you have to know about that country a lot.
Yeah.
But like that's like one thing that like those kind of videos, they don't know anything. They probably just looked up
Yeah.
Wikipedia pages and then
Like they just have they don't have any nuance.
yeah, exactly.
Like obviously I told you earlier about the kids from the dance academy, right? Obviously they're stressed, but they're still like, at least for me, they look happy, they're still having fun. We go to eat tteokbokki together, like they're not miserable. And I feel like we shouldn't just make things like black or white, you know?
Right.
It should be mixed, just like me. I used to study journalism, but like I graduated and then I didn't do journalism because I'm just tired of like the way Korea is talked about. It's just so one-dimensional. I wish there was more like
That's true.
diversity.
I think in terms of content, it's also like negative things get more views.
Yeah,
Negative things get more likes. Like, I know that because with my TikTok channel, I talk about good and bad things about Korea. And it's always the bad videos that get millions of views. People love the hate.
Yeah.
Haters love it. They run them up. So,
I remember when I was in like my first year of journalism bachelor, the first year, what the professor told us in our first class of news writing was, when he bleeds, he leads. Which means that when there's blood, when there's violence, when there's crime, when there's something sad, people will always go watch that first.
Yeah.
And even when I would literally, I don't know, I would see a video talking about like a positive aspect of Korea, you have people being like, yeah, but Korea is also this. Yes, we know. We are here, you're not. Why are you criticizing Korea? You're not even in that country. You haven't lived here. There's a reason we choose to be here and we make videos about the things we like in this country,
Yeah.
you know?
So are there any things about you yourself, like as a person, that have changed over time since living here?
I think I've just become a lot more like conscientious. That's probably the biggest thing. It's like I'm constantly like making sure I'm not making other people uncomfortable.
Do you like the fact that you have changed like that?
Yeah, I do. I think it's made me a lot more respectful of other people. And I don't really realize how much it's changed unless I'm around like my family, or other Australians. I'm like, oh, I've really become quite Korean in that sense.
Well, for me, I was like just like her. I've become more like considerate of other people. So, for example, like if I'm in the subway, you know, like sometimes depending on the station, the doors are like on the left or on the right. if I hear that it's gonna be on the right and I'm like in front of the door, but like with my back facing the door, I will move because I know people will get it because I don't want to bother people.
So China has been living here for 2 years.
Yeah.
Jasmine has been living here as 2 years as well.
Almost 2 years.
What was your experience like during those 2 years? So let's start with like some of the difficulties you had as a foreigner here.
Yeah, I had a hard time because I just always kind of felt like a distance between me and them. It was like, oh yeah, you're a nice foreigner. We say hello to you, but like we're not gonna invite you to plans. We're not gonna get close to you. And I don't know why. When I started graduate school, that really changed. And now the Korean people that I am friend with, like they will literally invite me to their house. They don't just see me as a foreigner. They see me, as Chinese. So I think that came with my Korean getting better as well. I was able to meet better people and develop better relationship with them.
I think the biggest difficulties that always stand out for me was not having a car in the beginning because like I had to buy water and everything and I didn't know how to use Coupang and all of that. I didn't have any of that set up.
What's especially powerful for foreigners here is that like we have a lot of apps. Like Korea is very digitalized, so we have like Penny and like a lot of apps that we can use like for like finance too.
Yeah, like Naver Pay, stuff like that.
Yeah, they all ask you for like social security number. So
Yeah, that's actually a huge. Okay, so recently one of my friends from language school, she wanted to order something from overseas, but to order this thing because it was coming from outside of Korea, you had to have the social security number, and obviously foreigners.
And you need custom clearance.
Yeah,
custom clearance code. Yeah, I got that now.
And you have
Thank
to like
God.
apply for it. It's just so complicated as a foreigner in Korea.
yeah.
I remember like I used to cry because my full name is very, very long, and you know when you have to do like the
Yeah.
본인 인정, you will never pass. You will never pass. But now I don't know why they changed the system. Now most of the time 본인 인정 works, and also
Really?
yeah. And if you get like when you buy stuff online, it makes life better. Honestly. So I have both Naver Pay and Kakao Pay. This is the best thing that happened to me in Korea. Finally getting that thing done,
I need to do that.
and I'll help you through.
No, Jits, does it ever happen to you that Koreans, whenever you do like official stuff in Korea, they don't know what one is your first or last name?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I get called my middle name all the time.
I think Koreans have the shortest names.
It's so convenient. Like Kim
It's
Mina.
not that long, but I mean, it's 4 names.
Yeah, it's-
so
You have
that's
2
really-
lines. I have 3 lines. Oh,
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is not that bad.
That's true.
For Koreans, it's only like 3 syllables.
Yeah.
So it's very convenient.
I know. I want to have a Korean name. Like life is easy. I mean, I have one. Cha-ina.
Yeah, your name's
Same as
Ina.
Sumin.
I saw your Instagram and it was said Sung.
Yeah, it's just easier
That's
for
like a perfect
companies.
Korean name.
Yeah. What's funny as well is like I have a friend called Yasmin, and her Korean name is also Sumin. I feel like all the Jasmine who come here, they just give up the
Yeah.
Yas and they put Sumin.
It's easier.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys have that difficulties here in Korea, but what makes you still want to live here in Seoul?
French politicians. French politicians.
So,
No, it's just I feel like I have many things left to discover. Like the language, I still struggle sometimes,
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
The culture, I'm still learning it, and there's so many places in Korea where like I haven't visited enough. Like I only been to Busan once. I really want to go back to Busan, or even visit Gyeongju, Yeosu. Like there's just so many places I haven't been to yet.
I don't know.
Love.
Love. Well, and now it is, but originally I think it was just that my personality is not very compatible with Australia. And also I don't really care that much about like, politics and stuff, and I feel like as a foreigner you kind of get this little bubble where you can kind of be a little ignorant to the politics and stuff that's going on
I
around.
don't know what's going on. It's not me. Don't talk to me. I don't know.
Which is like, I mean, that really suits me. Personally, I don't like to have to worry about all of that
so
stuff.
what's the personality of typical Australian people that you're talking about?
Oh, I
Very
met.
outgoing? Or?
I mean, yeah, pretty outgoing. There's like a big drinking culture. I mean, that's still in Korea, I guess, but I don't know. I think I just really like Korean people. I think Korean people are just really sensible people. Like Australians, for me, are not very sensible. Very like, they're always on time, which I love, like Australians and everything. But yeah, just really easy to make friends with, and yeah, they're just good people for me. I don't know. I just seem to vibe with them.
I like the fact that Koreans have something called shame. Because I feel like French people, the way they can be rude or like disrespectful in public spaces, like the way they will, how to say that, like make the subway dirty or like steal something that's not theirs. It's like they don't have shame. Like, do you ever feel shame? Do you ever feel guilt? Do you ever feel consideration for other people? That's what I feel like when I walk in the street of Paris and I'm like, this is a mess. Whereas like in Seoul, even though it's a way much bigger city than Paris, it's much more organized and it's cleaner because Korean people, they have shame. They know that if they throw something on the floor, or like if they stain something, people will see it and they will feel ashamed, so they don't do it.
I think this shame that you're talking about is like unchi.
Yeah, munchi so.
You can't do like what you want in the space.
Yeah.
You always have to kind of consider other people.
Exactly.
I always felt like that in Australia. I feel like we can't have anything nice. Because people just
We can all
ruin
have
it.
nice.
People just do stupid stuff and ruin it. Where it's like in Korea,
Yeah.
people are so respectful of like everything.
Yeah, like
Things are respected more.
for example, like in the city where I'm from, in France, there used to be like water fountains in the subway stations, and apparently they broke that because people were, like they had to take them away because people didn't like use them properly. They were always broken or like disgusting or whatever. Whereas like there are water fountains in some like subway station of Korea, of Seoul, and it's still working. These people have something called shame. They don't try to embarrass themselves in public. French people, they don't care.
I think recently there are like certain groups of foreigners who kind of take advantage of that fact. Johnny Somali.
Oh, no, but the thing is, like, this man is crazy. That's a different case. That's not most foreigners. He's actually insane.
Exactly. But like there are certain like streamers who come to Korea and then like make trouble because they know that Korea is quite safe compared to other countries. So what do you think of those kind of people as foreigners living here?
I mean, they're looking for attention, and also they're stupid, so they have nothing else to do with their lives. Like, you know, and for me, I go to university, we both go to university, we have things to do. Like, we're not out there causing trouble.
Right.
So I think people who come to Korea with an actual goal, they will behave properly.
I don't know. I feel like as foreigners, you kind of have a responsibility to make a good name for other foreigners. And so I always, like, my cousin recently visited last week and was like, you know, try and not blow your nose in public and just little things because, yeah, like we have this responsibility to kind of give other foreigners a good name. So when people come here and do stuff like that, it's obviously really frustrating for us because it kind of makes us look bad. There's not much you can do about people like that. They do what they want to do, but hopefully Korean people don't think that all foreigners are like that.
Yeah.